Okay.
Our report is inside the ocean. Sarah floated dolphins and whales, and Michelle floated starfish, and then I will do a little bit more.
Very good. Oh, wait a minute.
Dolphins and whales breeder in the Baltic. There are two types. Adopted are the toothed whales.
Don't read.
And their descendants are the river dolphins.
Good.
And the narwhals, dolphins, bottomless whales, and sperm whales. The second group is oostocytes, and they're the whale-bone whales.
Louder.
And their species are the gray whales and the right whales. The difference between fish and dolphins. Fish are scaly, and they have gills, and their fins are spiny. The dolphins have soft skin. They have lungs, and they can't breathe through their mouth. They have a blowhole on the top of their head. Their fins are solid. Their flippers are bony, and then they have body action. Breathing. They breathe through a blowhole, and the blowhole connects to the lungs. There's a flap of skin that keeps the water out and makes them breathe. Skin has deep ridges that protects the blubber. Swimming. The flukes push the dolphin ahead while balancing and steering and rising to the surface. That's my report.
Very good, Sarah.
I did starfish. The starfish can be different colors like red and blue. Whoops. And other different colors. And there's a color like Georgian color that down at the bottom of the sea, and that starfish can mostly some starfish can go in the mud and sink down in it.
That it? Oh.
My diagram, I put some starfish and dolphins to make it look more like the ocean. And I learned that a different color is a scientist that studies plants, and a superbiologist is a scientist that studies animals. And that there's lots of different kinds of other animals in the ocean.
Name them. Give me some
Here.
examples.
There's sea snakes, there's pufferfish, there's sharks, there's catfish, there's starfish, there's
Those are some examples.
those are some examples of fish.
Great.
Did a project on cats, wild and house cats. I'm going to tell you a little bit about wild cats, and Amanda's going to tell a little about house cats and wild cats, and then we'll tell you about house cats and wild cats too. I learned that there are many different kinds of cats. Some are bobcats, cheetahs, jaguars, leopards, lions, lynx, margay, mountain lions, ocelots, pumas, servals, and tigers. They're all different in many, many ways, but one thing they all have in common is they all are meat eaters. Leopards live in the forest of Africa and Asia. They can run fast, jump high, and climb trees. Lions can also run fast and jump high. They mostly live in Africa. Lynx looks like a house cat. It has thick fur and eats rodents and small animals. Tigers are found in Asia and Siberia only. They live in swamps, jungles, and tall Now Megan will tell you things about Elsie and
Amanda or Megan?
Amanda, Christine, and I did a project on house cats, wildcats, and different kind of cats all over the world. And I learned that when first we wrote the project, and second my mom typed the project.
Move over so we can see your poster.
And my mom taped the report, and we made the poster boards, and we each molded our own cats and painted them. And I also learned that wildcats, some wildcats are in circuses, and people own some wildcats, like tigers and jaguars are sometimes owned by people. And I also learned that there are different kind of cats all over the world. I learned that house cats have all different color eyes, and they cannot eat scraps off the table, and they
Should not.
should not eat scraps off the table, and they and I did this cat right here, and this is a jaguar, and this is a leopard, and this is a house cat. Eric and I did a report about airplanes, and I'm going to tell about the research of airplanes, and Eric's going to tell me about the first flight. Okay, the research of airplanes I learned about is that there is
Tell us what you want.
I learned that they have to type things up on a computer to do the research and to design it, and then they have to go in production. They can go up to 5 or 10 to 20 to 25, and then they get people who want to learn a lot about airplanes, and they can research about it, and then they can research, and they put it in the wind tunnel, and they like test it how well it can fly, and how good the engine is, and the speed of it, how good the landing gear is, and the afterburner and stuff, and then they test they make the tail so like if they're like flying so they won't crash, and then some airplanes they try to fix up, and then they like
Then they make them.
and they make them into really different parts. They make them for war or just discovering things for like hunts for the desert storm, and bombing their enemies, or just to fly them for passengers. Okay, now Eric's going to tell you about your first flight. I learned that there were two brothers named Wilbur and Orville Wright. They were the first ones to fly the airplane. And the day it took off was July 1909.
July 1909.
And the eight couple of airplanes kept on crashing. So we got it off the ground on that day. And then the years passed, and then they came out with better ones. And here's some parts of the airplane. The tailgate, the afterburner, back wing, back wheels, front wing, front wheel, nose, cockpit, body, and engine. What I learned about magnets is that it's kind of like a rope in the yard, and it helps in junkyards and policemen and people who use magnets and who make.
Show us your model. Tell us about your model.
My model, I made it out of clay and pottery, and I put a magnet.
Why?
After night, it cracked. So, I found out and I read that it could crack, and I tried to make these. Hey, can I go? We did our report on caves, and Nick is going to tell you about Nick is going to tell you about stalactites and stalagmites and stalactites. And we're both going to explain the experiment, and I'm going to tell you about how people explore caves.
Okay, Nick.
This experiment shows how we acid, well, we fill these up with, number one, we put an eggshell in water. Number two, we put an eggshell in Coca-Cola. And then number three, we put an eggshell in vinegar. And this experiment shows how the acid eats up the calcium just on the
What happens to the eggshell?
Well, all wet and soggy. But in the other two, it just stays, but it doesn't break up or anything.
All right.
I'm going to tell you about exploring caves. A lot of different people explore caves. When you're a scientist and you explore caves, you're called a speleologist. And sometimes you have to be really skinny because there's a lot of cracks and tunnels you have to go through, and it can be really dangerous. So they wear protective clothing. They use ropes and lanterns. And they find many different things. Stalactites grow on the roof of the cave, and stalagmites grow on the bottom.
Go up and down.
There's one way how you can remember that is the C in stalactites is for ceiling, and that's how you can remember it. And G in stalagmites is the ground. And over
Good thought. Say that again.
For every 1,000 years, it takes a stalagmite or stalactite to grow 1 inch.
Okay.
Tommy, John, and I are doing a report on snakes. John has rattlesnakes, I have cobras, and Tommy has boa constrictors. And here's our diagram. Okay. The African cobra can shoot poison up to 6 feet. The African cobra was a snake charmer, and a cobra is about 6 feet to 10 feet. And
Okay, just tell us what you remember.
and the hoods on the cobras, when they raise their head up, the ribs in the back of their head raises their hood up. And the African cobra can play dead and turn over and act like it's dead. And then when anything touches it, it strikes, spits poison, or it strikes you. Okay.
Who's next?
The boa constrictor squeezes their prey, and every time it squeezes harder until it breaks all their bones and it dies. The python does the same thing with the boa constrictor. Oh, the real long. Oh, they're fat.
Do you know how big they get?
No.
Anything else?
I learned about rattlesnakes that they have a rattle on the end, and when anything is close to it, it rattles. The snake feels the vibration on the ground, and their enemies just rattles its tail. And when it's dark out, when they go to hunt, their eyes open real big. When it's light out, their eyes close shut because it's really important.
Super.
Jill and I are doing a science project on pollution. There are all different types of pollution. There's air and noise pollution. Air pollution is caused by factory smoke, by car exhaust, smoking, and by chimneys. It also is caused by aerosol sprays such as hairspray, deodorant, etc. Noise pollution can make people sick. Noise pollution can hurt your ears and spoil your hearing.
Don't read.
Another type of pollution is smog. Smog is a mixture of fog and smoke. The exhaust from people's cars can form smog. Smog can hurt people's eyes and lungs. Smog can hurt people's eyes and lungs.
That's okay.
They built special devices and they put them in cars so there wouldn't be a lot of smoke as there used to be from cars.
Pollution can be found all over the world. Animals are involved in pollution a lot.
Read.
Most of the animals die because of pollution. Pollution was recognized as a problem after the Industrial Revolution. Most of the pollution comes from factory chimneys. Pollution also kills people. Pesticides is a threat to wildlife. Pollution can be found all over the world. Animals are involved in pollution a lot. Most of animals die because of pollution. Pollution can also kill a lot of people. Pesticides is a threat to wildlife. pesticides used for farmers because they put it in their seeds to kill the animals to make better and larger crops. Another type of pollution is river pollution. A lot of people dump their waste into the river and it kill a lot of ducks or fish. So everyone try to recycle and don't litter in rivers or kill animals.
Reading our report on volcanoes. Katie Brightson, Michelle Bailey, and I are going to, later on after we talk about volcanoes, we're going to show you this experiment. This shows how volcanoes erupt in different places all over the world. I didn't matter one of the report. The volcano, there are 3 different types of volcanoes. The volcano I did was a cinder cone volcano. Cinder cone volcanoes have skinny openings, and cinder cone volcanoes are very explosive when they erupt. Burning cinder, ash, and melted rock ooze out of the openings in cinder cone volcanoes. Now Katie will tell you more about volcanoes.
The volcano I did is the shield volcano. The shield volcano is a rounded mountain-shaped volcano. When a shield cone volcano erupts, it is very explosive. What I learned from doing my report is that volcanoes, there are not many shield volcanoes left on the earth. What I learned from doing the experiment is how volcanoes erupt. I did my volcano in a composite volcano, and I learned that composite volcano. I learned that there's many of them all around the United States, wide on the earth, and that they're formed when lava and tundra burst out of the ocean. And that they are like a mountain shape. They have like a mountain shape.
And now you're going to do the experiment?
I need to cut this straw.
Okay, just tell us what's supposed to happen, Katie.
I just shake it up.
You don't have to shake it up.
Well, what we were trying to show you here is how volcanoes erupt. I guess we're going to try it again.
What did you put together to do? Ooh, there it went out of the cup. Okay, tell us what you tried to do now.
Well,
Class?
this is a volcano that we made out of a funnel, and we put fake cement over it to make it look like a volcano. All over it is, they're like lumps and bumpy places, because on volcanoes, no volcano is perfectly smooth. They're all like bumpy, and they have sometimes rocks coming off of them.
Good.
Why don't you just pour
Okay, we're going to try it one more time.
pour the vinegar down the hole?
Now,
Yeah. It won't make a mess. Put it down the hole. Put it down the hole.
we tried that.
Put it down the hole.
Now wait,
Oh!
it's not going to work.
It did work, but they didn't.
It worked.
Okay.
Just pour it down the hole.
If you didn't see
Pour it down the
that
hole.
in slow motion, it's the volcano, well, the vinegar and the baking soda, what we mixed together, erupted or exploded out of the straw.
Right. Is that what's in a real volcano, vinegar and baking soda?
What's in a real volcano?
Listen.
What makes
What makes a real volcano erupt is lava, melted rock, and ash, and all kinds of things. They go up to it. They go up a chute that leads to the top of the volcano, and then it first it like pushes out and it all explodes.
Okay.
Boom bang is my answer. Okay, I'll do it over the cups.
Here, you can see it going over the
That's
cap.
what would have happened. Like, we had some problems.
That's okay.
Our project was earthquakes, and we built a little area of like land out of some styrofoam board, and to make an earthquake, and we stacked it up over at this edge to show layers of the earth. And Tim built a whole lot of Lego houses. We brought micro machines, trains. We set all of that up. And I wrote about what makes earthquakes happen, and I figured out that earthquakes are plates of the earth pushing together or falling apart. And if the two plates go like this, it doesn't form an earthquake, instead it forms a volcano. And where the plates push is called the fault. And I also talked about some of the earthquakes that have happened in the past. In 1980, I believe it was, in South Italy was hit by an earthquake. I got some quotes from a boy who was there out of a book, and he said that it was like it was all shaking. He thought it was the end of the world. And on the other one, the other one was in 1811 in New Madrid, Missouri. This earthquake was so large that it temporarily changed the course of the Mississippi River. And people felt it all the way down to New Orleans, all the way to Boston and to Canada. In Charleston, South Carolina, it made a church bell ring all by itself.
And I'm going to be talking about damage. And one of the biggest earthquakes was in central China in 1556. It killed 830,000 people, and it cost a lot to repair. And the biggest one in South America was in San Francisco and North America. And it killed 700 people, and it cost $400 billion to repair it. And,
Is that it? Tell us about the poster, guys.
okay. These are pictures of
A model of an earthquake that was built at Universal Studios and is on display at Universal Studios on the ride of the earthquake when you're waiting to get in. And me and Tim looked up some information about like the regions that earthquakes occur in. We've got Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, North America, South America, and
the red is Asia, the green is Europe, and there's southern and green. The orange is Africa, the blue is Australia, the yellow is North America, and the black is South America.
And I drew a picture of a plate coming out of a crack in some asphalt that Tim had the idea of drawing. So, and that's basically all we have on our poster board.
These is the solar system. I'll go first. planets I wrote about, and Ben will talk about the planets he wrote about, and Terry will talk about how we did the project. Okay. I learned that the sun will only generate light and heat for 5,000 million years. And
Only?
yeah. And Neptune has 2 moons, and they are Triton and Neron, and Pluto's temperature on the planet averages from minus 342 degrees to minus 396 degrees Fahrenheit. And most people think that one day for Earth is 24 hours, but it's actually 23 hours, 56 minutes, and I can't remember how many seconds.
That's good enough.
And that's all.
Okay, who's
My
next?
report was to write about some of my planets. I learned that Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and has the fastest orbit around it. And I learned that Venus is made up of poisonous gases. And Mars and Earth are very close together when they in orbit, and they come very close, and you can see it easily on the planet.
So for the project, I got styrofoam balls, covered them with food, and spray painted.
Look at us, Terry.
Oh, yeah. And then, I took some string, hung them from some hangers, and I took I wrote their names and pinned them on them, and then I hung it up there. And
How'd you make them different colors?
I spray painted them with different spray paints.
How about Saturn?
Saturn, I took a piece of cardboard and made the ring. And we had a styrofoam ball, and then we wrapped tissue paper, then put tape around it, then spray painted it. And that's about it.
Now, you wrote some of the report too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Ben said I learned that Jupiter is the largest planet. It has 21 moons. It has a couple of rings, and the rings are made of ice chunks.
This is Jupiter?
Yeah, Jupiter. And it has this big, massive storm called the Great Red Spot. It's been going on for millions of years. And then I did Saturn, which was the second largest planet. It has 23 moons and has rings made of ice. And that's it.
My name is Eva Fernandez, and this is Lauren Duskell, and our science project is about the human body. There are 9 systems in the human body, and we have 4 systems up here, but 5 of them couldn't fit. So we're going to talk about 4 of the systems. Lauren will talk about the circulatory system and the digestive system. I'll talk about the urinary system and the respiratory system. The human body is the best machine ever built. The circulatory system, the digestive system, is where you digest your food, and there's a little tube called the throat leading to your stomach, and that's where the food is mashed and crushed. The respiratory system is when you breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. You have 24 bones that
is where the heart is, and is the process of when your heart pumps the blood and pumps out liquids, solid liquids. We're gonna give a questionnaire now, and Lauren's gonna start. What will life be without bones?
Calling someone.
It'd be like a person would walk around and then they'd fall apart.
Good.
Life would be like a worm. You wouldn't be able to do anything. The only thing you'd be able to do is talk, speak, and think. You wouldn't be able to move. Would you be able to live without a brain? Pardon? Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. If you didn't have a brain, probably not, because the tubes and the nerves that run to your brain would probably not have anywhere to go and just spill out in your body and you'd probably die. Could you breathe without oxygen?
Was that answer good?
Yeah.
That okay.
What did you say again?
Could you breathe without oxygen? Who's going to answer? Who? Eric. Did you have your hand up, Eric?
No, because you have to be able to do something
Why do we have to have oxygen?
to live, to take care
Why?
of your body. And
What do we have? What do we breathe with?
lungs,
And what do lungs use to breathe with?
oxygen.
What if we were a fish? Would we still need oxygen?
Yeah.
But we would have gills. It's a different system, right? Okay.
How many kidneys do you have? Right. What do your lungs do? They have to breathe. It takes in oxygen and pushes it out. Yeah.
What do you give off?
Carbon dioxide.
Mostly. Right. Very good. Okay. Is that it? Very good, girls.